Good morning, YouTube. Dave in Kentucky here. Got some Costa Rican coffee. Happens to be the 10-pound bag I'm roasting and going through right now. So it's going to be Costa Rican for a while and then some Brazil. Got a 10-pound bag of that that'll follow. But anyway, going to have my third shave with the Drakkant razor by Aylsworth razors. And so here's some information that Caleb had posted up on the DFS forum with regard to it. It's made from 100% locally sourced 316 stainless steel. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's up in Canada, but it's going to be done by Yates Precision, which I think is in Pennsylvania, so I assume it's locally sourced there. Bead blasted to a striking matte finish. I should say that this is the prototype one, which was done by a different machine shop because Yates, Jake, was tied up with other obligations apparently when he needed the prototype. So don't know why it's called a prototype, because I think they've already gone to production. They had some pre-order ones that have already sold. But here's the information on it. Again, this is the matte finish. Comfortable yet efficient daily shaver. It's a 24-degree blade angle, so unlike most that are at a 30-degree angle, this is 24. They have it listed as medium aggressive. It's a 0.73 blade gap. And it says microscopically past neutral, so it's almost neutral. The exposure is 0.02 for the exposure. So they say it enables both to plow through multiple days of growth in 1 or 2 easy passes. I don't know about that, but I'm a daily shaver, so it says provide the daily BBS with relative ease. And they say, yeah, there is a plan eventually to have different plate, comb, and aggression options. So they are going to have some more aggressive plates come out, perhaps some open combs, I guess. Also some handle lengths and different patterns for the handles, and also different materials. So perhaps brass and some other things. So they've got plans for things to evolve down the road, but this is what they've got coming out now. Some find it, the matte finish, a little too draggy. That's me. It's similar to the Yates 921 razor in my book. It does feel a little bit like you're trying to, it's dragging a little bit. Anyway, that's just, some people notice it, some don't. I've heard people say, well, if you get your soap slick enough, you won't notice it. I don't buy that. I feel it, and I know how to get my soap slick. Anyway, so they say some find it draggy, especially compared to a polished finish, although fairly similar to other bead blasted razors. So it is similar to others like the Yates. They say that should be addressed. The production razors will be a finer, smoother, more satin blasting than the prototype house was able to offer. So it'll also be in a machine finish on offer for those that don't like the blasted finish. So, and that's what I saw. Let me correct what I'd stated. They don't have a polished one out, and I don't know if that's their intentions eventually or not. They have a machine one. It's 170. I think it was 155 on pre-order. Machined is 170 and 185 for the bead blasted. A reasonable price, yes. A great deal, I don't know. Yates sells theirs for 140, so I think the 155 was more of what I would consider a good price for a stainless steel machine finish, and maybe 165 for one that's bead blasted. But that's just me. There's just so many out on the market right now, and it's coming in. It's a more attractive handle, I think. Has good balance. The balance point's somewhere in here. I don't want to try and get it for you and have the thing fall, but you can see basically that's where the balance point is, right in there. All right, so today we're using Tabac. Already loaded up my brush. I have a Trotter Handcrafts. He's over on Etsy if you want to check him out. This is a wood one he did. I named it the Kickflip because it's kind of like skateboard type wood. And so let me wet the face. And another pull on the coffee. And get the lathering. You see how I gave you all that information at the beginning? It's not like the nightly news. We're not trying to just give you those little teasers and make you watch the whole thing. We'd like you to watch the whole thing. I guess it helps algorithms and such. I don't know how all that YouTube stuff works. I'm much older than I look, you know. And not great on technology. Alrighty. So it's as you saw in my first video, it's a fairly mild razor. It does have that very, very small blade exposure. So the blade does stick out there. You do have to, I mean, it's almost a mindless shave, but I say that with the caveat that there is exposure to it, so you can't just press it hard on your face and go at it like a cart razor. But I don't think people would have trouble finding the angle on it. I'm not so sure I care for this dropped here. I'm sure they did that for just the looks, or maybe they're going to put something in their logo. I don't know. I don't care for it much, but that's just me, you know. You can't please everybody. I understand that. I appreciate Caleb doing this pass around. He seems to be a great guy. People that know him better that are on social media and stuff, and so appreciate him doing the pass around through DFS with Andrew over there. Let me get a quick rinse. Putting himself out there for people to try this and give their takes on it. Again, I don't know what the idea of, usually the idea of a prototype is to get input and make adjustments, but I could be wrong, but it seems like he's already at production with these, so. And I can't see at that point making changes down the road, and I think if I bought one of the early ones and then they made adjustments, I'd be a little frustrated if I bought one early. Oh, we're not there yet. Second pass, Dave. I'm trying to be a little more careful. What I noticed my previous shave, because it's there's such light exposure, I prefer one where I feel the blade a little more, know what it's doing. I have a tendency trying to make it efficient to push on it a little bit, but he did make the comment that if you like more aggressive razors, which I don't like aggressive ones, but I guess that's what it would be classed as, you may not be happy with this one, and future plates might be more appealing. So this is my final shave, and then I'm gonna get this all cleaned up, sanitized, and off to the next participant. No need for me to hold it longer. But I did have some spots on my jawline and it, I don't want to say irritation, but just a little tender because kept going over and over trying to get what I wanted for face feel because it's not quite as efficient as I would like. But you can't argue with the results. It was, you know, if I had more time with it, I'm sure I'd dial it in even more. So it's a great razor. And I wish him the best on his sales. I'll keep an eye on things, what he comes out with in the future. But again, for the stated price point, I think it's getting in the area of where some, not all, but I would be expecting a polished finish. And I'm sure that is easy for me to say. He's got to make a profit, and he's not machining them himself. So, but when you consider some of the razors that Yates has out there, the winning razor, whatever, America, all those things, and they were sub $100, some sub $50, and and I'm not a machinist. I know there's a lot more intricacy in this handle and perhaps the head and base plate and cap. I don't know. So I'm not naive. I understand those things all will come into play too. But as a consumer, the market flooded and having razors I'm happy with, I don't know that I would be getting this one unless I catch one on a buy-sell trade at a reasonable price. I don't have my Yates 921 anymore. I just sold it recently. But it seems to me even the M plate on that one would be a comparable shave to this. I had settled on the H when I had it. Never did use the EH that Yates had. I didn't see a need for it. All right, quick rinse. All right, some Humphreys. Out in the wind yesterday, I got all this redness up here. Trying to get some of that Humphreys on there too, see if it helps it. Get it around there and around my mouth all the time. Glad I don't have to shave up here. All right, so there it is. Where are we at here? Oh, about 15 minutes, good. So There you have it. Very attractive razor. Nice weight to it. Balance. I gave you the details already. So keep your eye out on that. I'll have links down below to his website. So when he stocks them, you'll see them. Um, and if you would like to give that a shot, again, he'll have a logo, I think, on the bottom there. Probably some information, things under there. So it'll add to the attractiveness, I'm sure. Again, thank you, Andrew, at DFS for letting them host all the pass-arounds that they do over there. And Caleb, thank you very much for putting on the pass. I'll get this cleaned up, sanitized, and off to the next gentleman. Dave in Kentucky, be kind to one another, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the pages.